Hello and welcome to video reaction 3 for business law. The initial video was called Legal versus Ethical Liabilities, a case of leadership and culture. The speaker this time was Mel Bugate. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. The speaker started out with the statistic that 98% of employees experience unethical behavior, which I actually found astounding that it was that high. Another statistic that he then went and threw out was that 27% of employees were direct targets for bullying in the workplace. I guess I had always figured that bullying was a school thing and eventually would go away. Apparently not, so yay. One more thing to look forward to. So Mel then went on to talk about why the leaders of the workplace should care if people are being bullied there. And the reason for it is that the effects of bullying have a negative effect on the employee's performance in the workplace. So the company is not receiving all the benefit of having that employee work for them. Another odd thing, but I guess it shouldn't be odd, but another interesting thing that was pointed out was that CEOs spend about 7 weeks dealing with unethical behaviors in their company, which I found astounding. And the reason why the CEOs would have to spend so much time, because a lot of times the actions that someone would take is unethical, but it's not technically illegal, which was one of the main contentions for white-collar crime. And that video reaction too, it also dealt with the borderline of, is it just unethical? Is it illegal? And so, yeah, something can be unethical, but not illegal. Mel then went and pointed out that legal liability is easy to follow. Ethical liability is much harder. And the way he depicted this was in 2 track runners, and they were trying to clear track hurdles, and the legal liability had the hurdle at maybe 2 feet high, and the runner was long, tall, long legs, easily could clear it. The ethical liability, the track runner for it was about as high as the legal liability hurdle, and the ethical liability bar was maybe it looked like 6 feet in comparison. So it'd be like you'd almost need to pole vault over it to be able to clear the ethical liability bar, but he'd be able to walk just under it, which is like, yeah, you can clear legal, but can walk under ethical. Legal is a test of how smart someone is, while ethical is a test of character. because if you do something illegal, it is blatant. When dealing with white collar crime, it is so blatantly obvious that's like, were you just being an idiot in that instance? What transcended also with the white collar crime video was unethical leadership leads to unethical organizational culture, which then leads to unethical behavior by subordinates. A main thing when dealing with the leadership is if the leader, whether it be the CEO, the vice president, or the manager or assistant manager, if they are aware of it, they are responsible for it. One point that Mel made that tied hand in hand with the white collar crime video was that one reason why unethical behavior can flourish is that there seems to be no consequences for the high ups. And he was then starting to wrap up with an idea that actually makes a lot of sense to me. The business code of ethics is empty words unless the leaders of the company also follow them. So it's not just the leader of the company should not be having a do what I say, not what I do, but should instead be having a do what I say and do what I do, and back up the code of ethics. In a way to spread ethical behavior, Mel recommends that companies should celebrate people who make the tough call, who make the ethical call, not just the legal call, because he truly wrapped up on the idea that legal is not the same as ethical, which clearly it is very different. So this has been a video reaction number 3 for business law.